Alright, man, welcome back to 352 Sports Talk. My name's Eddie. I'm here with Ryan at my house. Just chilling. Now, I felt awful. I was supposed to be at work, but I felt awful this morning. Called out. This man woke up, threw up all over my place, too. It's just been awful, right?
It's been pretty rough.
Pretty rough days, man. Pretty rough days.
Pretty rough.
I've been getting piped by school, work, everything. How about you?
I just get piped by work.
Yeah, you just get piped by work. But let's just let's just hop into this. So Florida Gators were ranked 10 this past season. This past weekend, they played the number 7 Auburn Tigers. I told you Auburn was just what we all expected. Not impressed. Bo Nix really thought he was gonna come in here and beat us. Okay. But my takeaways from the games are, so it was an up and down game because the first drive, we hit a Freddie swing for like a 65-yard touchdown or something like that, something ridiculous.
Some 60 yards like on the second play.
On the second play overall. He was at the game. He said that was the loudest that he's ever heard that game, that stadium.
I mean, people were standing the whole game. I mean, everyone. I only saw people sitting. And I only saw a few people, which was like the older people sitting during the TV timeouts. I mean, illegitimately paid just stand the whole time. But I mean, it was worth it. It was a good game.
He didn't want to let anybody know that he was going to the game.
Well, I bought the ticket that morning.
Right.
So
that morning.
Yes.
He had no plan to buy, right?
None planned.
Yeah.
I legitimately asked the RN. She said, "I have extra ticket."
Yeah.
You buy for face value. I bought for face value in the student section.
Right. Anyway, so hopping back into it. So that was a loud game. Then what happened? They went for a field goal. They got it. Auburn, so it was 7-3.
7-3.
Then we had a turnover at at the 20-yard line, about to score again. Offensive line is still a problem 6 games into the season. What do you have to take it? Talk about that.
I think versus an Auburn team, they throw the ball exceptionally well. I feel like Trask held the ball a couple times too long, which led to some of those fumbles. When you're playing a defensive line like that, the best defensive line we've played all year.
Yeah, that's to all y'all lying ass Miami fans too.
The best defensive line we might play all year. Definitely can't hold that ball for that long. Gotta get it out.
Yeah.
Besides the long P. Ryan run at the end of the game, 14 carries, 130 yards. The longest one was 88 yards. So what are we saying? 13 carries, 42 yards?
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously that's unacceptable for a Florida team. I think, just like the other week I saw too, when Emory came in, somehow magically the running game kind of seemed to kick a different level because they have to worry about Emory as a runner.
Every single time.
I think the game was up and down for most part. Defense played an outstanding game, obviously. Give them 13 points when really your offense
should have been 6. To be completely honest.
And your offense really handicapped you for 10 of those points with giving Auburn a short field. The defense.
And one of them were going for it. That was on Mullen though. That wasn't on the offense.
Well,
that was on that fake punt that we ran. I don't know why we ran a fake punt inside of our 40-yard line.
Well, Dan Mullen, they don't give that look, and they gave that look the one time and stopped them. I think all around game, special teams, creating turnovers. I think the most underrated play of the game was the early fourth quarter when Towson grabbed the ball, held it for 5 seconds. There was no rush.
Nobody was rushing, yeah.
Nobody rushed it. Never understood why punters never did that. Always never made sense to me. I was like, no one's going to rush you. Why not hold it and give everybody a chance to get down there?
Right, and pin them down.
Obviously, you had 8 Florida Gators within that 20-yard line just looking up for the ball. Was a great play there, special teams wise. I think that, there's goods and bads. Obviously, the running game has got to improve, and it hasn't improved through 6 games.
It has to improve.
And I don't think that they can go into Death Valley on a Saturday night and not be able to run the ball. There's going to come a time at one point in one of these games where they're going to have to pick up a first down running the ball, and it might decide, a win and a loss. And it doesn't seem, like I'd put my money on them picking up 10 yards, rushing the ball.
No, I agree. I feel really bad for P. Ryan because last year he had almost 1,000 yards. He had like 900.
And we're
Yeah,
six.
it was 900 something, right?
We're 6 games in. He's at 300.
And he's at 300.
362, I think.
And so like he came back his senior season so he could, get a better draft stock than he was gonna have last year, where he was projected like a third or fourth round. But right now he's not even that. I mean, I don't know if it's like, I don't know about the running wise. I don't know what it is, because when they put what's his name, Peterson, he does a little bit better with the same carries. He gets more yards. So I'm kind of confused if P. Ryan is just like, if he's confused and not seeing the holes clearly, or if it's like a mixture of the blocking and P. Ryan, which I think that's what it is, because our offensive line can block very well passing wise. I've been saying this since the first game overall. Passing wise, we're very good. But when it comes to running, I don't know if it's because we're running the zone scheme. I don't know what it is, but P. Ryan has been struggling. He only has 300 yards in 6 games. That's awful. Last year he had 900. He might not even hit 600 this season, to be completely honest. If we keep going at this rate, because he had like 16 in one game, 100 in the other one. This one he just broke for 140, and then the other one he had like 30. So it's like, I don't know what it is, because like he said, when you put Emory Jones in there, everybody respect what Jones can do, and then you can run a little bit better. So I don't know if it's, I don't know if Mullen should scheme around that and maybe play Emory Jones a little bit more so you can have a little bit more effective running.
I think when you put Trask in there, I mean, obviously the fear of Trask isn't that he's going to take off and burn you for 40 yards down the sideline with that speed like Emory can. So obviously, the read options, the give him poles, even just, those little, inside zone plays, you have to respect Emory as a runner. So you can't have your defensive end or that outside linebacker crashing down down the line of scrimmage to the running back. Obviously, you have to respect it. I feel like P. Ryan has excelled in the passing game.
Definitely.
I feel like, he came back to show that he was a well-versed running back, especially in the NFL. He showed that he can catch the ball a little more.
Yeah. And he's definitely what we can take out of the Auburn game is that he has improved his speed tremendously.
Obviously. I mean, when he hit, obviously, he made that, bounced off that tackle right there about the 15. And then as soon as he got to the sideline, obviously great play there by the sideline. I mean, he didn't, with the safety there, he squared him up. He didn't go straight to the sideline trying to make a foot race when the guy already had 10 yards on him. Squared him up and then beat him to the sideline. And I'll tell you right now, I've never seen a play so rub more than when he had beat the safety down the sideline.
That was crazy. I mean, there's if you haven't seen it yet, it's been like 5 days since the game, but if you haven't seen it yet, we definitely want to go on Twitter and look up the P. Ryan run. There's somebody that took all the audio out and all the music out of it and just let the people, just the fans. And your phone, first of all, don't put it all the way high valley, because your ears might bleed. It was that loud through the phone, so I can only imagine there.
It was crazy. Even when he broke the play and it was now 30 yard, and then once he beat everyone, it was over. Because that was... Yeah. With 10 minutes left, you knew that Auburn couldn't put 11 points on the board.
Especially with...
that defense.
So let's talk about a little bit of the defense. The defense... First of all, I want to apologize about Marco Wilson. Marco Wilson, his first 3 games were very rough. He was knocking rust off his ACL tear. But last game, he was coming up to hit players, to not make the first down, which is something that he was scared to do in the first 3 games. Not scared to do. He probably just out of condition to do after you miss a whole season. But this last game versus Auburn, I remember there was like a little flare to the left side, and he came up 10 yards and just, put him on the ground and didn't allow that first down. So Marco Wilson's been stepping up big time. But on the defensive side, I need Coach English to stop it with the safeties. Stop it. You know what the 2 best safeties you have? First one is Sean Davis, and the second one is Brad Stewart. Brad Stewart has not been himself since last year, with all those suspension and everything. But he's still the best. He's still better than Steiner, and he's still better than, what's the other guy? What's number 29's name?
No, 29.
29, Juwan Taylor, yeah. Those are the best 2. We need to stop, especially going into LSU this coming up weekend. We need to play our best DBs the whole time. Joe Burrow has been spectacular the first 5 games that he's played, He's been throwing for over 20-something touchdowns. Almost has 2,000 yards already in 5 games. So we need to play our best players, and our best players on DB side, safeties, are Brad Stewart and Sean Davis. Sean Davis had an incredible pick, one-handed pick, which was right to your side, right? Like when it happened?
No, it's on the other side.
I thought it was right to your side.
No, it was to the other side. It wasn't to the student section. It was the other side. I mean, it was that they were going that way, but I was in front of the other side. I was in front of the Florida bench. I was next to the Auburn bench.
It was by the Auburn bench.
Wasn't? No, it was by what's the Auburn bench?
It was by the Auburn. He's drunk. Anyways, but yeah, Sean Davis had an incredible pick. I wish he would have taken that back for a pick 6. Didn't happen, but it's all good. Put him in a great position. Scored like 3 plays after that, and that was it. Off defensive line, incredible. Y'all dominated the offensive line. And our offensive line, I don't know if you noticed, but they're all seniors.
I know
They're all seniors. So our defensive line, we have a mixture of seniors, juniors, and even freshmen playing in there, and sophomores obviously. So defensive line dominated. David Reese, baller. I mean, he leads the SEC in tackles, and people want to talk crap about him, but not being able to cover or anything. But he single-handedly stops the run for the other team.
I mean,
Single-handedly.
Obviously, when you run the ball 34 times, I mean, they still had 115 yards, but it's a little less than 4 yards per carry, and I mean that's pretty good for an Auburn team that likes to run the ball.
Yeah.
Especially early in the second half, when they were breaking 15-yard runs, it seems like, for that one drive.
Yep.
15, 12, 13-yard runs. I think it was a really good job by Florida's defense, especially on the run game. Passing, obviously, you're playing a true freshman in the swamp. Kind of expected them to do those things to him. I feel like, he had that one good touchdown throw. I mean, there's some promise there with Bo Nix. You can see it. You can see it, and you can respect him. The real question is going forward is
what the hell does Auburn do with the coaching?
I mean, I like Gus Malzahn. I think he's a good coach. I think he's a good offense coordinator.
Is it more that he's just in a tough spot at Auburn? Maybe it's just not his caliber.
I feel like with Auburn it's such weird too, because I mean every other year it seems like they start off 3-2 or 4-2 or something. Like there's always some point early in the season where they're ready to fire him, and then he beats somebody he's not supposed to.
Yeah.
And then they're done.
And then he's saved.
And yeah, like what was a couple years ago, he was BLSU on a last second play or.
No, he lost to some crappy team, but then he beat Alabama and Georgia when they went to the SEC championship 3 years ago.
That's what happens. I mean,
he just has luck, bro. He beats the teams that he needs to beat, but he loses to teams that he doesn't need to beat. It's just I don't understand. I mean, coming into Florida, a lot of people expected him to win. I didn't really get that. To be completely honest.
I was worried with the running game that Florida can't run the ball. They have a good D line. How good was our passing going to be? And Auburn likes to run the game. And
their D line showed up. Mad respect to all them boys.
Definitely. I think if you look at Florida too, especially the Auburn team, like looking at this from an Auburn perspective, you came into the swamp, you didn't play a good game, but for 4 quarters, 3.5 quarters, you were in a game. You played off on offense, and for 3.5 quarters, you were in a game against the top 10 team. I feel like Gus Malzahn can coach. The team is talented. They can play defense. They can run the football. I also feel like they didn't get Schwartz involved enough.
Oh no, Schwartz got shut down.
I just feel
he had one carry for -4 yards. And
exactly.
That,
why is one of your best players have 1 carry for -4 yards?
We didn't allow him to get the ball.
I mean,
we based the whole defense around him.
I just feel like if I was Auburn and Gus Malzahn calling plays, he's calling plays now for the first time since that national championship year, that they would be trying to get the ball to the outside. Especially, it felt weird. Like they never tried to get the ball to the outside. So Washington gets Texas A&M. That's all they wanted to do was bounce the ball to the outside.
So he was the reason that they lost to FSU.
I think that was that defense.
Oh, God, man. All right, we're gonna not even continue on that. But yeah. So this week, talking about we're done. Actually, Kyle Trax, you're a baller, bro. You're a baller.
100% when he left that game.
He left that game. Everybody started crying. Basically, I started crying walking back to the tailgate because I got news that he was injured. I was like, oh, damn.
It looked I mean, obviously he was on the other side of the field. And when you saw him go down too, I mean, I saw him slap the ground. I'm like, oh shit, there he goes.
Yeah, it looked worse on TV
And
than
then
it actually was.
when he ran to the locker room, you know, everyone's like, oh shit. All right, he's running. All right, maybe it's something like concussion. He'll be all right. He'll come back next week. And then when this man, you know, came back to the sidelines, that place erupted.
Yeah.
And then you see him over there running. Obviously, they were on offense. They had Emery going the ball, throwing.
Emery, shout out to Emery too.
Yeah, 5 for 7, 40
5 for
yards.
7 that drive, got a critical 3 points before we went into the halftime.
And then you saw Trask come back out when Trask took the field. Crazy.
Yeah, it went crazy. So big shout out to Trask, Emery for holding his own. P. Ryan, you know, proved Auburn wrong for saying that he was too slow. Come on, people. What else happened? Swain had an incredible game.
He's doing Freddie Swain things, so.
Yeah, Freddie Swain
just makes plays when he has to.
And you know that Jim McElwain almost let him go to another team.
Who was he going to?
I don't even know where he was going to go, but he didn't want to recruit him. And then like all the Florida Gators were like the fans were like, get Freddie to the swamp kind of thing.
Where was he going to go? Central Michigan.
Funny. But yeah, so now So moving on, this week we got the 5th ranked LSU Tigers, or 3rd ranked, or whatever the hell you want to call them. I don't really care. And we're at LSU, 8 o'clock game, Death Valley. I mean, it has all the incentives to be a great game. We have the number 1 scoring offense in the nation versus the number 1 scoring defense in the nation. Florida has not faced an offense like this, but LSU has not faced a defense like this. So it's like, who is going to give up? I mean, LSU's defense has been kind of trash, to be completely honest with you. If you give up 38 points to Vandy and to Utah State.
When's the last time you were a Florida LSU fan and you were like, holy shit, our team can score? I mean, honestly, think about it. You're an LSU fan of Florida. When's the last time you're like, holy shit, our team could put up 35 points? Against LSU, like holy shit.
Especially LSU fans, they've been waiting for an offense since they won the Super Bowl.
I mean, they probably still reliving that damn halfback toss. I can't get it out of my head every time I watch LSU. Every time I see LSU, all I think about is that I formation, turn around, the toss, it's like straight up the A gap.
Straight up.
I just the plays ingrained in my head with Les
Miles. I mean, but getting back on track. We're facing LSU. As a Florida fan, their defense does not scare me. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. They don't scare me at all. You allow 38 points to Vandy. Vandy's 0-6 or 1-5 or something like that.
Holy shit!
So Vandy does not scare me. I mean, LSU doesn't scare me on defense, but offensively, Joe Burrow been on his money. He has 22 touchdowns. He has 1,800 yards. He's obviously a Heisman candidate. Their wide receivers are fast. They're athletic. They can catch anything. And Joe Burrow has been deadly accurate. Their running backs, though, they're in the same predicament as us. They can't run the ball either. They have the same amount of rushing carries and rushing yards as the running backs at Florida. So it looks like it's going to be a fun and gun, game in LSU where Kyle Trask is going to be passing it and Joe Burrow. It just depends on what defense can stop the other offense to be. Honestly, I'm being completely honest with you. Because I don't think that their defense is that good, but our defense is really good. So, I don't know.
This is how I look at it from Florida. I think whoever wins running the ball is going to win this game. I mean, you play a team in LSU that obviously has gone to an up-tempo offense, has athletic receivers. Joe Burrow can obviously throw the ball, and it's also a threat to run the ball.
Yeah.
So
people forget about that shit.
I mean, obviously, They come in here. I don't feel like their defense is as good as Auburn.
Definitely not even close. Not even close.
But that's still a defense better than Towson and UT Martin. So that'll be a test for Florida, especially. I feel like in the secondary is really where you gotta be careful. They're athletic. They have a good safety. I mean,
But they do have a lot of injuries.
I mean, that front seven's really where they should make their money. I mean, I feel like
run the ball. So what you're saying?
I feel like yes, this is the type of team where if you can run the ball and get play action, make LSU have to commit more people in the box and then try to throw it over their head.
So basically, open up the playbook. That's what Damon's gonna have to have. Like you said, I agree with you totally. Their DBs are the best part of their defense. Their linebackers are kind of suspect.
So you can't expect to throw the ball 40 times a game against DBs like that.
No, I mean this to run the ball.
And the same question is going to go for LSU. I mean, Joe Burrow's completed 80% of his passes, second in the league, in the nation to only Tua Tagovailoa.
Yeah.
So.
That's your phone. Continue talking.
How much do you really throw the ball if you're LSU? Obviously, you want to establish a run game. You can't throw the ball the whole entire time against a good secondary for Florida, and it's kind of going to be a cat and mouse game as far as that level goes.
Sorry, I'm looking for stats. You can keep talking, bro. I'm looking for these stats of the defenses that LSU has faced. I don't think
we're the best offense or the best defense was Georgia Southern at 68th overall.
That's what it is.
Georgia Southern 60th overall. Somebody else was like 127 or 118 offense.
Yeah. Yeah. So Georgia Southern is the best defense that they faced. Oh, I can't even spell defense right. I'm drunk. But yeah. So I think I agree with you 100%. Florida's gonna have to be running the ball. And then when you run the ball effectively, your play action's going to open up. Your passes are going to be open up because everybody's going to be moving up to stop the run.
And this is how I feel. I feel this is a game where on the road, I might use Emory quite a bit. Use Emory. If I was Stan Mullen, I mean he's redshirt freshman. I mean you can't redshirt him anymore. Obviously the kid's going to play. I mean, he showed he can throw the ball. Why not throw him out there a couple more drives than usual? Try to run that read option, make LSU respect him. He can throw the ball. I mean, he showed he could throw the ball, too. I mean, he almost hit Freddie Swain for a huge pass Saturday.
Yeah, he overthrew that one
a little bit. I feel like Freddie one-handed, too.
So, I don't know, man. This is going to be an epic showdown on Saturday. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be home watching it. I'm going to be with supporting my brother with one of his last competition that he has. So, family first, man. Family's first. But I am gonna be missing this game. Hopefully, I'll be putting it up in the game, on my phone and be able to watch it through there. If I'll find some Wi-Fi somewhere. But I honestly, okay. So when we first started this season, I said our only loss was to LSU.
How do you feel now about that?
No, I don't think we lose to LSU. I'll be honest with you. Their defense is not good. Their offense has not faced a number one defense. I believe in my defense more than their offense. That's how I feel. It'll be close. I'm not saying that LSU can't win. I'm not saying that either. But I was thinking that LSU is going to beat us by like 7-10 points just because it's a showdown. And, just because it's an LSU. I already knew it was going to be a night game just because every time that we play at LSU is a damn night game. But when we play over here, it's always a 3:30 game. Y'all pissing me off with that bullshit. I want a night game here with LSU. But anyways, let me calm down a little bit. I think we beat them. I think we beat them by like 3.
Score?
Score's going to be 31-28. That's my score.
All right. Respect.
You?
I'm going to go 23,
Okay.
17,
Okay.
LSU.
All right. Respectable.
I feel like, 23-17, that game, Death Valley. It's a tough one to go in there winning. It's been a while since Florida's gone there and won a game. Well,
we went there 3 years ago.
Yeah, obviously. The hurricane bullshit.
Well, that's his score. That's my score. Y'all need to tell us your score. So comment down on the YouTube channel or we're going to post this everywhere. So just comment everywhere. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the games after the LSU. So Florida goes to South Carolina after. That could very well be a trap game. I'll be completely honest with you.
100% it's built to be a trap game.
It's right between LSU, bye week, and then we have Georgia.
So obviously you're already looking forward to the bye week.
Yeah, you're looking forward for the bye week because you just played 2 top 10 teams, and you have to play another physical South Carolina team. Although they're trash, because they're trash. I'm sorry, Carolina fans. You guys are trash, bro.
really beat up on the front line and everywhere. I mean, they're really injury prone this year.
Yeah. It's built for a trap game because Mushroom's gonna have them boys rolling and fired up for the game and all this and blah blah blah. So you could, South Carolina could very well be a loss and mess up, the whole season. So hopefully Dan Mullen has our boys going that game because if not, I'm gonna be pissed when we lose to damn Mushroom.
Here's the hot take. Here's the real game that's really on the radar.
Who?
For a trap game at Missouri.
And we're Missouri.
Really?
No.
For whatever reason, Missouri gives Florida problems.
I'm not worried about Missouri, bro.
Especially
They either blow us up or we blow us up.
with Kelly Bryant. I'm just saying now. I don't think they've lost a game since Wyoming started the season. But everyone
We're
was
4-1.
I believe so. Everyone was all on that hype train with Missouri.
I told you I'm not being the hype train. Also, y'all, ESPN people, CBS people, everybody, y'all really hate the Gators that much, bro. I mean, nobody picked the Gators on Auburn. Nobody's picking the Gators here in LSU. There's a 13-point underdog versus LSU. Like, really? Like, I mean, I don't get it. I get that LSU's good, but I don't get the whole thing that, everybody's against, like, Florida. What the hell have we done? I guess everybody hates us since the 90s when we had a Spurrier or something. Because literally, everybody, I just saw a video yesterday on CBS Sports. Everybody picked the LSU. Last week, everybody picked Auburn, and then CBS Sports deleted the video. They deleted the video because they sounded like dumbasses after we beat that ass.
Well, Kirk Street picked Florida last week, so I'm fine with it.
Kirk Herbstreit?
Yeah,
That's a damn for. Yeah, there are 4-1 else in Missouri. But they haven't played anybody.
I believe they played some. They played a big West Virginia. They played West Virginia. Who knows? Yeah. South
They
Carolina.
played West Virginia 38-7. Then they beat Missouri State. They beat South Carolina. They beat Troy. They'll be Ole Miss.
They'll beat Vanderbilt.
They'll be Vandy.
It should be Kentucky.
I don't know about Kentucky.
Where's it at?
It's not Kentucky.
I don't like Missouri against Kentucky. Missouri at Georgia.
Then Missouri at Georgia, and then we come over there. So they could very well be a 1-loss team or a 2-loss team when we head over there. And we could very well be at the same thing. We could be a 1-loss team, a 2-loss team, or a non-loss team. This is what I expect.
I mean, obviously, but
I don't know, bro. If the game to lose, if Florida's gonna lose, is LSU. That is a game to lose. If we lose this game, I'm fine with it because we still play Georgia, beat Georgia, go to the SEC championship.
you can lose one and win out if you're Florida.
And this is it. But I kind of round her just
Well,
beat
you can't lose
everybody.
Georgia and win out. I mean, you gotta beat Georgia.
You have to beat Georgia, which Georgia hasn't impressed me at all. Been saying that since the beginning of the season. But anything else you want to say, Ryan?
That's it. I'm good.
You good? Oh, also shout out to what's his name, bro?
I didn't even get his name.
All right, man. He works at where do you work at again?
Where do I work at?
Dollar General, the warehouse. Whoever the fan is that recognized him from the 352 Sports Talk, give him a shout. Go talk to him again so we can give you a shout out and maybe even get you on the damn video next time.
Man, he loved that Kirk Cousins segment.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna say something. I was gonna say something very bad right now,
Well,
but I'm not going to because what he told you. So
you should have heard what he said about Kirk Cousins. He was like, "You're right, Kirk Cousins." I'm like, yeah, I know. It's Kirk Cousins. Kirk motherfucking Cousins.
hey, worry about Baker Mayfield and your trash ass Browns, okay?
Hey, we recorded this a week ago. We went first in the division, but
But you're not.
it's all right.
So I'm not worried about that.
It's fine.
We're talking about right now.
It's fine.
So I'm not worried about no Baker Mayfield
It's
trash
fine.
ass.
We'll win the division.
Winning.
We'll win it.
Okay.
We'll win it. You gonna win your division?
Probably not. We have a tough ass division. You have a trash division, so you should win it.
Oh, you got a tough division.
So we don't have the Green Bay Packers? So we don't have the Green Bay Packers. Tell me.
No, y'all have to go to the
Oh, do we have the Bears?
According
Tell
to
me,
that trash
do we have the
teams-
Do we have the Bears? Though?
You do have the Bears.
Do we have the Bears? Okay. And apparently the Lions now can't even lose.
Fucking Lions, bro.
So
All about that Matt Patricia now. There you go, Lions.
I hate that guy.
Matt
I
Patricia.
always hated him from the Patriots.
I like the Lions.
That's the one team actually no. I hate the Bears.
I don't know how the one team you can hate is the Lions. I mean, they're
No,
so atrocious.
The one team I
They're
hate,
so atrocious. You don't even have to worry about them for years.
The one team I hate is the Bears, but
Remember when y'all had Christian Ponder?
yeah, it was awful.
I know. Who'd y'all have? Who was that player? Javaris Jackson?
Before him?
Yeah, that's when I was a huge.
Before
I
him?
love Minnesota at that point. When they had Travaris Jackson and AP.
That was before Brett Favre, my guy.
I know it was. God, I think I heard of him. I liked him.
It was trash and we had Brett Favre.
Yeah, remember. Y'all had to throw the ball over the middle with 6 seconds left.
Well, Travaris Jackson wouldn't even taken us to the NFC Championship, so I'd rather lose there than go 1-5. I mean 1-16.
116 got a first overall pick. You could draft Andrew Luck.
I don't want Andrew. That would have been the same year, dumbass.
Well,
Get the hell out of here, Ryan. All right, now we're gonna finish because he's been with ignorant talking about Andrew Luck. He did not come out in 09.
you could have had somebody in 09. There was a good quarterback in 09.
Who?
I have no
Please
idea.
tell me. Exactly. Shut the hell up.
I've looked
Anyways,
at the class.
sign up to the, follow us on YouTube, follow us on Instagram, follow us on, what's the other thing that we have? Twitter.
Yeah.
Twitter is popping, bro. We saying ignorant stuff all the time. It was popping the other day because LSU fans and Florida fans are going at it. So other than that, man, shout out to, Greg, Jamari, Orlando, all the boys. We have to make this because everybody's busy as hell, and this is the only time that we had. But other than that, thank you, man. You got anything to say? If you say something about a quarterback, I'm going to end this shit right now. I'm going to edit it.
God, this is an awful quarterback class.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we know Matthew Stafford. They could have Matthew Stafford.
I'm not paying $90 million in a rookie year for Matthew Stafford. Thank you very much.
Well,
With that being
said.
said, we're out of here.